Hi, this is Joe from Beards, Blades, and Hair, and today we're reviewing Shea Moisture Beard Oil. Check it out, Shea Moisture. One thing that's kind of fun about this one is it has a little pump top. And luckily for me, one pump seems to be the perfect amount. Some people seem to like that or hate that. I think your beard oils traditionally come with a dropper top, which I think I prefer most of all because you can get the exact amount you want out of the dropper, and if you screw up, you can fix it, and if not, but like I said, fortunately for me, this pump top is exactly the portion that I need, so I like it, but it might not necessarily suit you, depending on the length of your beard, the porousness of your beard, etc., etc. So this was a suggested review for me from one of my subscribers, Rainbow 2011, and I had definitely heard of this beard oil before. Interesting thing about it, key thing being about it, super inexpensive. So you get 3.2 ounces of beard oil, and it is only $8. So my math is correct, $2.50 or so per ounce. It's about the cheapest beard oil I really ever seen. I'm sure I could go to the grocery store and get some real garbage for that cheap, but for something that's pretty decent, I think that is super, super cheap. Another thing that's super interesting is I'd mentioned before, my favorite beard oil, getting a shout out again, Mountaineer beard oil, is grapeseed oil based. I mean, that's not necessarily base is the right word, but that's the first ingredient. And my theory in my last video was because there's not a lot of beard oils that have grapeseed oil, because it doesn't work super well with a lot of beards. That was my theory why I liked it so much. That theory has now been dispelled. So that's the mini version of this review. As I always say in my reviews, there's really three things I care about with the beard oil. How does it deal in nourishing the skin? How does it deal in nourishing the hair? And then number three, which seems to be the differentiator between all the beard oils that I like, how does it style? And this one, it does a really good job nourishing the hair, yeah, the beard hair. Beard hair feels good, feels strong, doesn't feel dry, doesn't feel in any way damaged or not nourished. Feels good, does a good job nourishing. And then the skin underneath, I experienced no beard itch, no beard drift, nothing like that. So it seems to be doing a really good job handling the skin underneath. I think where this beard oil falls apart is in the styling. This is the worst styler I have. My list of beard oils is getting too long now to list in every video, but you can definitely check my channel to see all the other beard oil reviews I have. So I've tried quite a few, and I just think this is not a good styler at all. So let's see, there we go. That's right after application. For those of you familiar with my channel, you'll know that I like to come back and continue talking as I'm styling, but in between I style my hair. So I'll be back in just a second to do the heated beard brush as well as the gold brush. And we are back. The gentle humming or not so gentle humming you hear in the background is the cold brush getting itself cooled off. The Cryo Care cold brush takes a little bit of time to go, so I always have to leave it running as I apply my heated beard brush. So just as a reminder, you always want to make sure on your side beard to go left then right, and multiple directions helps it lay better whenever you're actually once you're done. You don't want to just go down, you want to go left, right, and then you can see I'm starting to go up. It's a reminder on that one. I think people often forget, they think they can just comb down and it's going to look good. No, you got to get every hair going every direction, and then it'll work for you. Also go nice and slow in the application. So what else is there to say about the Shea Moisture beard oil? I definitely want to see, or I want you to see the application, or not the application, the styling right after. I'll show you styling midday as well as styling at the end of the day after I've been outside and dealt with some of the still amazing Florida heat and humidity. I think overall, when I say styling is poor, I just want to let you know what to expect. I think that it really poofs out a lot, and it starts to look like you didn't apply a heated brush to it at all, and so the hairs are kind of going everywhere. To some extent, that's fine. To some extent, with your beard, it's really no issue if your beard. You don't want it to look like women's or men's, frankly, head hair, but you do want it to look somewhat controlled. And I think that Shea Moisture does a really bad job in maintaining that control of the hair throughout the day, unfortunately. Other thing I want to mention is I would consider it to be a medium viscosity beard oil, which means on the thicker side tends to offer more protection for the hair. On the thinner side tends to provide better styling. I would say, protection is fine, but the styling is not great. So even though it's a medium viscosity, I don't think it performs all that well. There we go. We've hit it with enough heat. And now that we have, that was an Aberlite Go-To, if you're not familiar. This is a CryoCare cold brush from Babyliss. Hitting it now. The heat straightens it somewhat, and then the cold brush locks it into style and brings it all together. But yeah, what I would recommend this beard oil for ultimately is, I'd say someone with a very short beard who needs a beard oil to purely, less for styling or not at all for styling, because frankly your beard's going to be too short to style, but needs the hair to be treated correctly and nourished, and needs the skin to be nourished correctly. I think it does a good job with that. So if you have a short beard and don't need to worry so much about it poofing out, and by short I mean like within a month, a month or less of growth typically for most men, I think this would work fine for you. And like, why spend the extra money on styling when you're never going to see it actually come to fruition? So many of you may say, hey, this looks, let me turn this off here. Many of you may say, hey, this looks great. What are you complaining about, Joe? But for me, what I see is, I see excess poofiness in the side. You can see some of the transparency there going on. That there's definitely some extra poofiness going on the side, and I think it just gets worse throughout the day. Like, so typically right after styling, this is all very just kind of perfectly flat, and right now it sticks out too much for my liking. But you can let me know what you think in the comments below, or if I'm imagining things. So we'll be back midday for an update, as well as we'll come at the end of the night and show you that as well. Be back in a second.
We are back. It is about 2 p.m., same day. I put the beard oil in at about 8 a.m. It's about 6 hours later, and you can see at this point it's all kind of poofed out and isn't looking very nice. Didn't think it looked great at the start, and now it's looking a little bit worse. So you can take a look there and tell me if you agree, disagree. But I think that you can already see the hairstyle has completely collapsed. All right, we'll be back after I spend some time outside for the rest of the day in the evening to show you what the end of the day back for the end of the night look. As you can see throughout the day, it just got worse and worse until here at the end of the night. Now it's poofed out completely and totally scraggly and doesn't look like I applied heat or a cold brush to it at all. So there you have it, the look. Before I sign off, I want to mention something about this scent. It does have a natural scent to it, although it is technically an unscented product. I would call it like a pleasant, nice lotion smell. It's pretty mild though, and it goes away even if it does bother you. With that being said, this has been Joe from Beards, Blades, and Hair, and until next time.